wing it for the first 30 seconds. Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's the one and only Legend of Winning, a.k.a. Low. We're back with another podcast, man. AyoPodcast. Last week, it was Thanksgiving. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I was busy. I was way busier than what I thought I was going to be Thanksgiving Day, so we had to pass on last week's. But we're back, and we got a lot of things to talk about, so let me stop rambling. Go ahead and introduce ourselves. Oh, my God, I did it again.
Yeah, you're stupid.
Go ahead and introduce yourselves real quick, because people may not know who y'all are, because y'all don't talk about basketball because y'all don't know what you're talking about. So go ahead and tell people who y'all are.
I don't know what we're talking about, yeah.
Excuse me.
True.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Waffle Man with video. You know what I'm saying? Back and we're better.
Kill yourself.
You podcast with a center. Hey, let's get it.
Stop.
Hey, yo, it was crack-a-lack jacket smacking people. I'm chilling. I'm about to order some KFC, but I'm trying to get my health right, so I can't be doing that. I'm gonna get some rice. We missed last week though, so a lot of shit happened. We got a lot of shit to talk about. Kickback. Hey, boot up that 2K. Go ahead and get that Fitbit integration. Get your 10,000 steps and get those attribute boosts. And kick back and play some 2K while you listen. Now.
Damn, I was still didn't send me the what you call it, but it is what it is.
Hold on a second, nigga. Can I just? This setup is just. This is different. You know what I'm saying?
So let's begin talking about those bum ass Hawks then.
No. We ain't gonna talk about that. We're gonna start off right and talk about this man Westbrook, because that man.
We're not doing Waffles weekly NFL scoop.
No, we're not doing no more
Waffles
weekly NFL scoop. Actually, no,
all
right, go.
I was playing. I don't know. We can skip that.
Actually, and for people who don't know right now, I know we're kind of like all over the place right now. But for people who don't know right now, we are a quarter into the NBA season. Almost every team has played like 20 games at this point. So if your team is struggling, or your team in the playoffs, or whatever, the excuse of it's kind of early, give them a chance. That excuse is now out the window. Everybody.
Unless you're the Pelicans and you had injuries and now you're dope. But I agree. I just tweeted that 2 hours ago. Yeah, that excuse is out the window. Yeah,
that excuse is done already. So first thing first, while I try to get these topics together, we're gonna actually just start off with Russell Westbrook, because I got him in the title and not let nobody have the suspense. As of right now, Russell Westbrook is still averaging a triple-double as we speak. First player to do this since Wilt Chamberlain and Oscar Robertson way back in the day.
Wait, Oscar Robertson got triple-doubles here?
I'm done. The reason why this is such an accomplishment outside of when they did it back in the day is because obviously the lack of possessions and the way that the game is set up right now, it's a tad bit harder to average a triple-double. Personally, I thought at some point he might be able to do it, but I didn't think this deep into the season. I thought he for sure would have turned it down a little bit or tuned it down a little bit. However, he's still going strong, and if anything's gotten better as the season progressed. So what do y'all think about the whole my man
His
Russell
usage
Westbrook?
rate is off the fucking chain. I've never seen this. Is crazy to play. It's like Kobe 06-07 usage rate. To keep that shit up all season is next to impossible. Let alone the fact if you're playing this many minutes now, later on in the season, he's gonna take a toll, man. And I mean, it doesn't take I know Harden has an even worse usage rate. So those guys touching the ball, Kobe up. I don't know. If he could keep it up, I'd be incredibly impressed. But at the end of the day, his team is losing some of those games where he's putting up points. So I don't know how much it really matters.
Before we keep going for you, Waffle, let me be clear about something, because somebody did ask me this in the chat. I see it right now. Wilt Chamberlain didn't average a triple-double for the entire season, but he had a month and some change where he was averaging a triple-double. So just like Westbrook right now, we don't know what he's going to do for the rest of the season, but as of right now, just like Wilt Chamberlain, Russell Westbrook is averaging a triple-double. So what do you think about it, Waffle? What you guys say about it?
Listen, man, he's going to be averaging like that for a while, man. Like, the stats he's putting up, this man grabbed 18 rebounds against the Knicks. Then the next game after that, he grabbed 16 rebounds. So if this man can grab rebounds like that, I don't even know how he's grabbing. I didn't even see him grab 18 rebounds. That's how crazy it is. He's putting up stats like it's nothing now. And those triple-doubles, he got like, 4 or 5 in a row now? Like, it's going to keep on coming, man. I mean, there's honestly, when you look at that team and you see how they play, the only people I see that's really a target out there is Cantor or Adams. Everyone else on the court, they're just out there.
Oladipo?
Yeah, I get it.
To be honest, it is Oladipo. To be honest with you, I don't like Cantor. I don't, and I said this in the video too. Like Cantor's not really going to do much. Like I don't know why people are expecting Cantor to do like really good numbers because he's not. Cantor's playing like.
Not even getting 90 minutes. Steven Adams is getting a lot of minutes.
I mean, not Cantor. Excuse me. I meant to say Steven Adams. I said that Steven Adams because I think Cantor's doing fine for the amount of minutes that he is receiving, but Adams is on the court longer than he was last year, but his productivity hasn't really changed that much. A lot of that has to do with obviously Westbrook and the usage rating that he has, and he obviously holds the ball a lot. But I don't know. I just feel like it's interesting to watch him do this. What Westbrook is doing, but I know he's able to do this because of the system. He's doing it at the right time, right? Like if he was on the championship contending team, he couldn't do that. There's no way that anybody will allow Westbrook to just hold the ball in the way that he's holding it. The same thing goes for James Harden. So because they're so aware of the situation that they're in right now, that they're just like, who cares? I'm gonna just go for the numbers, fuck it, and I'm gonna just try to put up as many numbers as I possibly can. And it's interesting because I would not have believed, 4 or 5 years ago that somebody could average a triple double, but here we are, and it's Westbrook of all people.
You know what's crazy is I put a tweet out. I put out a poll to start the year. I was like, "Yo, y'all think after it was the first game and first couple games he was playing phenomenal." So I put a poll out, and a majority of people in the poll thought Westbrook was going to average a triple double by the end of the season. Which I mean, in my opinion, I was like, "Are y'all serious?" I didn't think it was gonna be that high, but he's doing it. He's still doing it somehow. So
I still don't think he's gonna average a triple double by the end of the season. I think he's gonna be closer than what I initially thought, but I think the numbers will just go down because of fatigue. And I think at some point, if he's considered trying to win games at an elite level to kind of prove a point that even without Kevin Durant, this is still a great team. I think at some point he's going to have to recognize that, okay, I got to get other people involved. But I don't think this is going to happen throughout the entire year.
You know who I felt bad for Serge Ibaka, Oladipo, because they exchanged teams. It's crazy. I didn't ever think it, but Serge Ibaka, I thought the Magic were actually going to play well, but I guess Oladipo got the good end of the deal because at least he's playing on a team that's likely going to make the playoffs unless something drastic happens with injuries.
Well, I said that was one of the dumbest trades ever.
Yeah, the GM's definitely gonna get fired, Joe. I was reading some tweets from some angry Orlando fans, kind of outlining all the bad moves he made. You see moves like the Tobias Harris trade where you get what was it, Ilyasova and Jennings back, and none of those players are on the team no more. It's like you see that you're like they probably know something we don't because that doesn't make sense otherwise. And then you let it play out, and they didn't. Like, I don't know which data they went off of, but it was a bad decision, no matter which way you look at it. And so looking back on decisions like that, I mean, I think that's crazy because I like to give him the benefit of the doubt. I can't imagine a GM gets the job. You know how hard it is to be a GM? You know how much people you have to beat for that one job?
Yeah, we had this same conversation last week, and I'm telling you right now, majority of GMs in the NBA don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yep, I came to that same conclusion.
I'm dead. Because even looking at what they just did with Oladipo, they gave up Oladipo and their pick, basically, which was Sabonis, for Serge Ibaka. And Serge Ibaka, the way that they're playing right now, the only way he stays on that team is if they overpay him. That's the only way that he stays on that team.
Well, if you think about it, the space they got by tossing away Tobias Harris's big contract, they signed Biyombo. So if Biyombo doesn't pan out, which he's not, you already got Aaron Gordon and Hezonja, and your front court is looking a little decent. I don't know. Does Hezonja play small forward for that team? I can't watch a Magic game for my life. To be honest, the team is all over the fucking place. You got Elfrid Payton out there, who it looks like hasn't progressed at all in the last year. You got so much young talent. I mean, it's a failure somewhere. And I know the general manager is part of it, but the rest of the team and the development, you lose Oladipo, and now Oladipo is killing it in Denver. And this was a player who, after an initially good year, he regressed. He regressed that last year he played in Orlando, which is crazy. Everyone thought he was going to have a breakout year. So I don't know how we went from Westbrook to Orlando. My bad, but I just want to point out Orlando. I feel bad for Orlando fans out there because
like I said, we're a quarter into the NBA season, so we're going to touch up on a lot of teams this podcast. But going back to Oladipo and what's on that team. And Victor Oladipo, personally, I always thought that Victor Oladipo was going to be a really good player. I just didn't know how he's going to pan out on this roster because the way that Westbrook plays, and I hope it doesn't hinder his process of growing. I mean, he's obviously shooting better and he's getting good looks, but that's simply because Westbrook is handling the ball. And I always thought that Victor Oladipo could have taken that combo guard route, not exactly like Dwayne Wade, but almost like a Monte Ellis who plays defense. Like he can kind of not play point, but handle the ball at a shooting guard
Monte
position.
can't do offense no more either.
Well, I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about Monte in his prime, who's averaging 25 plus points and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, like that type of a player. And I don't know. I just don't know what he's going to be. But I'm still under the mind state that the triple double ain't gonna last. Like I think it's great. I think it's cool. But at some point that fatigue sits in, and I think his numbers are going to go down a bit. But if he gets close, I would make the argument. I think that the whole you got to be a first or second seed in the conference. That's the only way you're going to make win the MVP. I think that should go out the window. I think I said this in the beginning of the season. If he averages a triple double or close, and if James Harden or if James Harden averages like 30 plus points and like 15 assists, they could not even make the playoffs, and I still think they should win MVP because those numbers are just ridiculous. So,
I agree.
Wolf, you got anything to say? Because it sounds like you just eating or no, you watching the Knicks game. That's right. That's what he's doing. Yeah, he watching the Knicks game. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird that I can't believe I'm watching this right now. But hey, man, shout out to Westbrook. Shout out for him doing his thing right now. Just in case people out there want to know the exact numbers, I don't know if they're playing right now, but right now he's averaging 31 points, 10.5 rebounds, 11 assists. The turnovers are there. The field goal percentage is about the same what it normally is, around 43%. Turnovers 5.5. Him and James Harden, they about to break the record for the most turnovers in the season.
Twice. Two people
yeah.
one season.
Yeah, James Harden about to top himself, but I ain't gonna lie. I'm
Pause.
Pause. I'm not gonna lie though. At some point, I'm kind of getting over it because it's like they're not winning, so who cares? They're not winning no championship, so who really cares? But you know who might win a championship, and I don't want to go into too much details, but we're gonna touch on them real quick. The Clippers are looking way better than what I was giving them credit for.
Wait, is that the team that lost to the Nets?
That was one game. They've had bad shooting performances, but they just beat Cleveland though, and I was waiting, and they beat Cleveland by a lot too, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, they beat them by 113 to 94. And I made a video not too long ago on the channel where I was telling people like, yo, Clippers, they have all the pieces to compete with Golden State. But I said defensively, I don't think they're there yet. I don't think they have the pieces, especially at the small forward position. Everybody lost their mind because they thought I was like, yo, you don't watch basketball because you don't know about Luke Mute. I was like, I know him. I know about him. I know what he does on the court, the floor. However, I just had to see it because even right now, like he's playing 23 minutes a game. So it's not like he's on the court enough for him to like really make an effect on the game so significant that I thought that it was going to change patterns on how exactly they play defensively. But I must admit, I was wrong. This team defensively is still holding up strong. They're still holding teams to under 100 points. They're still holding their opponent's field goal percentage to 43%, which is second in the NBA. They're still defensively one of the best teams, forcing 15, almost 16 turnovers by the opponent. And you pair that with Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, and Chris Paul offensively, that's a legitimate team, yo. I think that's a team that a lot of people have been sleeping on, and obviously the pieces always haven't been there, but I think this year might be their year.
We still talking about the garbage-ass Clippers?
Yeah, we're talking about the Clippers, yeah.
The same team that chokes every playoffs? Same one?
But do they choke, though?
They do, so.
I don't
they
know.
1,000,000% do. 100,000%.
Hey, and my bad. I forgot about JJ Redick. People, somebody said in the chat, JJ Redick too, stretching out the floor. But no, if you look at, I don't know if they
do
choke. Choke.
They do.
A lot of it just has to do with what's my man name? Chris Paul being hurt all the time. Which
It's too bad though. You can't even have them in playoff contention. It's part of the reason why no one's certain about the Pelicans' ability to win because you keep getting injured. If you get injured that many times at a certain point, like if Chris Paul, I feel bad for the guy really because he was in New Orleans and it was a similar situation where he just wasn't surrounded with a good team, and now he's with the Clippers and he has a good team, but he still can't win. And he's really just caught in a shitty fucking situation because how the fuck do you beat Golden State if they just keep teaming up? Or the Cavs if they just build super teams and get all these veterans who could shoot and they got these he's just in a bad situation, to be honest. If he does manage to win, I think he can, but it'd take some sort of it's all a mental thing at this point because they have the players to win. They showed it. They fucking clobbered the Raptors. In fact, I watched the Clippers play a few games this season, and when they play my Raptors especially, it did not look pretty. Like it was very clear that they were a good team. I never see them show up like that against top teams consistently. So at a certain point, like I just stopped trusting in their ability to win.
They showed up. Maybe in the playoffs, you're correct. But if everything goes the way it's going right now, because I had the top three teams very similar in both, in the Western Conference at least. This is arguably, I don't know why, but people want to make it seem like going to the Western Conference Finals is some form of achievement. I don't know. To me, it's either win or go home. It's win or lose. That's it. But this is the best opportunity, in my opinion, for Chris Paul to kind of, I guess, take that next step in his career to make it to the conference finals. Because the way that everything is set up, even if they're second or third, they can make it all the way to the conference finals without having to run into Golden State. And I think that team is good enough to actually give San Antonio a run for their money, especially on the front court. They match up really well. So I actually think this team could potentially, take that next step, like you said. But it's the injuries that does kill them for it, and that lack of execution down the stretch in the playoffs. Because for whatever reason, and it's sometimes it is Chris Paul with the lack of with his injuries and stuff like that. But Blake Griffin, he just disappears. I don't know where Blake Griffin goes in the playoffs. It's crazy. I've never seen somebody like that consistently just like not do anything in the playoffs whatsoever. It's weird.
It's tragic. I feel bad for Clipper fans. Those Clipper fans that came out of nowhere like about 3-4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's not looking pretty for that franchise. Because you got to keep in mind, if the Clippers can't win a championship or at least hit the finals before the Lakers get good, then the Clippers waited all this fucking time to actually have the city respect them, and the Lakers are about to build this team and be back in contention. So, I actually low-key feel bad because I know when Kaman played for them and Caron Butler, I actually used to low-key like that team as an underdog, like when I liked OKC that first year.
True.
Anyway.
I'm waiting for the man Waffle to come back because when Waffle get back, we'll just because I think this is a perfect podcast because, like I said, we're a quarter in to kind of run through. We ain't got to go into specifics about every team, but kind of just give our take on borderline every team in the league, because there's some very interesting things that we missed 2 weeks and we missed a week, so there's a lot of things to talk about. But speaking of good teams on the other side, shout out to the Cavs, yo, and shout out to Kevin Love. It looks like Kevin Love is the player that a lot of us expected to see out of him his first or maybe even second year in the NBA. With the Cavs, excuse me. He's starting to turn around. He's starting to find his niche on the team. I'm not a personal fan of how they play him, but it is what it is. He's just on the perimeter way too often. I don't like that. I think they should mix it up a little bit more. And he's out there losing weight. I don't like that neither. But it is what it is. That's how they play basketball now. But Love over the past couple of games has been playing really good. I don't know. Have you watched any games, the Cavaliers game recently?
I watched them destroy my Raptors twice this season. It wasn't destroy. They're both close wins, but it's an easy slide in unless something major happens with either the Celtics, the Hawks, or the Raptors. The Cavs are shooing again for the playoffs, and they always will be unless something major happens. But this year they really stepped up because last year it was a lot of carrying involved. This year It's like LeBron he can take a nice little step back, chill for a bit. And then now if Kevin Love can bang shots, because he's a better rebounder than Channing Frye and all these other players they had last year, oh my God, that team upgraded. And they didn't even upgrade because they brought anyone in there. They just literally just started working better together. That was impressive. Yeah, I'm impressed with that team, but I want to see if it keeps up, though. I remember last year in the regular season, they weren't performing all too well. And then out of nowhere in the playoffs, they shot fucking incredible, record-breaking performances from three-point land. So they're on and off sometimes. JR didn't really have the greatest start. Last few games until I think today, he's been doing pretty bad. So when the players are on, they're not losing. That's what I know. And I guess in Golden State for 3 games straight, them shits, they were on, That's what happened.
The thing is, though, like Kevin Love, and I was always concerned, like, I don't know, like, because I feel like the Cavs still have an opportunity to beat the Warriors, even with the addition of Kevin Durant. They just have to take the next step, and I thought the next step was Kevin Love. Because people want to talk about what's going on over in Golden State, how they have I guess some people may consider Draymond or potentially Klay Thompson as a superstar, but that team in Cleveland, people tend to forget, legitimately has what some people may consider 3 superstars, like legitimately. What Kevin Love was doing in Minnesota would be all-star superstar numbers. And this year so far, I mean, he's not even playing that many minutes. He's playing 31 minutes, putting up 20-plus points, 21 points, 10, almost 11 rebounds, shooting 42% from 3, and he's attempting nearly 6 threes a game. Like, when you get to that level of efficiency, like, you're good. But again, like I said it before, I don't know how I feel about, like, just him staying on the perimeter like that, because I think at some point he has to get inside the lane and really disrupt what's going on, depending on obviously the matchup, because nearly half of his shots are coming from 3. And, like, Jesus Christ, like, if that's the case, then y'all could have just kept Wiggins and just turned him into a 3-point shooter. I think they would have been better off. But
Channing Frye, who's killing him.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, too, people. Obviously, Kevin Love, he's gonna dominate on the boards as well, because, like I stated before, 31 minutes he's grabbing 10, almost 11 rebounds. But what he gives up defensively, especially in today's NBA with the matchup problems and stuff like that, if they were just going to turn into a 3-point shooter, they could have easily kept Andrew Wiggins, and I think they would have got more defensive flexibilities with him at small forward and putting LeBron at power forward and running it like that. But the team is looking very interesting. I want to see how they keep going. People in the chat keep saying, like, they lost the last couple games and stuff like that. They're losing games. People, they're going to lose games. We already know, like Agent said, they're going to make the playoffs. They have the greatest chance of making the finals in the East. So them losing games every now and then isn't really that much of a concern to me. And are they losing right now? I think people keep saying they're losing right now.
I'm not sure. But, I mean, some of their games, keep in mind, they legitimately just sit there and rest players. Like, you're like, all right, LeBron, take a break for this game. All right, this player, that player. They really don't give a fuck, yo. They know they're going to win. And they know they're going to get a high seed in the playoffs, whether it's 1 or 2. It doesn't really – well, they're going to obviously try for the 1. But and with the Raptors right on their heels, they might have to start stepping things up. But the end of the story is they're going to fucking make it. I really hope there's some sort of contest, though, because there should be a rule where if one team gets top seed in their conference 3 years in a row, that there has to be a team that switches conferences. So, like, to make it more competitive, because, I don't know, part of me believes if the Warriors – let's think of a more believable team. If the Spurs were in the Eastern Conference, because they could pass as East, they're in Texas. It's kind of down the middle, right? If the Spurs were in the Eastern Conference, yo, it'd change the game. LeBron wouldn't – you think LeBron would win every single series against the Spurs, making it in the finals that many times? I don't think so.
You know what's crazy? Don't say that, though, because people, they don't like to hear that. Because I say that sometimes. I'm like, yo, not the only reason I would, and I might not even say not even the biggest reason, but there's a real being realistic. You got to just understand, like, the reason why LeBron makes it to the finals damn near every year is because he plays in the East. Because if he didn't play in the East and played in the West, or if it was open seating, he wouldn't make it to the finals every single
And
year.
it's a cruise, yo. All the other teams are beat and battered, playing 6-7 game series. LeBron's out here literally fucking cruising with a whole week off because he routed into 4 games the Pistons last year. And it's like you're gonna be in a better shape to win in the finals, especially if that bitch goes to game 6 and 7. If you're rested like that, they need to do something about that because they need to remove conferences entirely or do something to even it out. You can't have a dominant team, especially because it was a super team that was put together. And then if a super team played another super team and only one made it into the finals, that'd be a different story. Then again, you also don't want like all the good teams to play in one conference and then in the finals would be a good team versus an average team. And then that's not fun to watch if it's a 4-0 sweep or a 5-1 or 4-1, sorry, 5-1. But yeah, man, this needs to be something needs to happen. I know Adam Silver has been looking to address the conference issue, but I mean, it's been heating up, yo. The more shit like this happens, he's a player. How many times is it 6 times he's been in the finals now?
We've been there 7 times, 6 times in a row.
Oh my God, that's all right. I don't believe if there was another good team like that in the conference, like the Spurs, that he would be back in there 6 fucking years in a row. That's crazy.
I don't even understand why people. I don't know. I know we kind of go on our touching our bases, but I don't even know. We gonna talk about almost every team, people. So just give us a second. But I don't understand why people don't take that into consideration, especially like over the past like month or so, because I do like the videos and stuff like that. I've been like doing a lot of research into the like LeBron and Michael argument. And like nobody never like everybody tries to like belittle what Michael did, but they never like come to grips that like LeBron is playing in one of the weakest conferences in NBA history. And like I don't even understand why people don't even bring it up. Because if you just look at what like if you just look at how many games you need to win over the past 13 years in the Eastern Conference to make the playoffs, you can have a losing record and you'll make the playoffs every single year. 38, 39, almost every year. You win about 38, 39 wins, and you'll make the playoffs. The Eastern Conference over the past 13 years has had arguably some of the worst teams and one of the worst teams of all time. Like last year, the 76ers winning 10 games, one of the worst teams of all time. The Bobcats not too long ago, one of the worst teams of all time. So I don't know. Like I don't understand why people don't. I don't know. It's weird to me. It's just weird. This man Waffle's still not back though.
I don't know what the fuck he's up to. Whatever. Fuck him.
I think he's watching the game though because it's a close game. But I don't know.
Watching it. By the way, my Raptors fucking just destroyed the Lakers.
But I think we injured though. So I think we.
What does that mean?
We can catch a break. So just chill out.
All right, well, we have injuries too.
Who?
Sullinger. Jonas Valanciunas.
D'Angelo. That our best player is injured. Come on.
All right, in our weakest position, we lost our best player.
Okay, but you still have DeMar DeRozan.
He's not a power forward though.
He's our best player.
Nah.
No,
Diallo was our best player.
Let's be clear too about this too. Because we're gonna like I said, we're gonna talk about everybody, but like DeMar DeRozan this year clearly is making it like very, very obvious that he's like taking the next step. Like I think a lot of us was like waiting, like, oh, Paul George is about to take that next step. Nah, that man DeMar DeRozan is like, let's be clear about what's about to happen this year. I'm about to drop almost 30 points a night, practically taking no threes.
Yeah. And
you know I can't shoot threes, and I'm still gonna make these shots. And there's nothing that you can really do about it because I'm shooting a great field goal percentage. I don't even know how he's doing it in today's NBA. It makes me just, I don't know. Every time I look at like some of these games, it just makes me want to like come to grips that the NBA is just so different that maybe certain players are able to do this. But what DeMar DeRozan is doing is pretty impressive. Just to think that he's not shooting that many threes or making that many threes. And I remember in the beginning of the season. I remember 2 things in the beginning of the season. One, he's the 48th, 47th best player in the NBA?
46th.
46th. Oh, my bad. He's the 46th best player in the NBA. And 2, I remember when you were saying like Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan are like close. No, he's.
No, I remember you made the argument that Kyle was better. I was like, nah, trust me. I've been watching DeRozan my whole life. That man is clearly the team leader. I mean, it's
Oh, no. But you saying. I mean, I'm not saying I was right or wrong. I'm just saying, but you said they were close. I'm saying right now, nah.
I mean, they were close
obvious.
though when I said it. I mean, nobody expected DeMar to shoot NBA record type numbers for mid range. Even I didn't expect that shit. That shit was caught me off guard. I'm like, yo, DeRozan, you gonna miss this year? He's like, nah, agent, I got you with the mid range. Pull up, bang. That man could not miss.
So yeah, I don't know. It's very clear. Now they shouldn't.
Whoa.
What?
You know what we need to do right now, real quick?
What's that?
We need to have that segment real quick. The great Al Horford. We're balling with Horford right now.
Hey,
Horford is back in the NBA.
Oh, it's live. Well, we're live. Back with balling with Horford, the great Al Horford. Agent,
yo, you're gonna learn this. Oh my God, yo.
Agent, please update the people on what the great Al Horford is doing for the past 2 weeks. Because
you already know Al Horford's one of the best players in the NBA, right?
But we missed some greatness when he was out, because of concussion. We missed some greatness. So please update us, please.
That man is back. Y'all know he's a game changer, right?
Game changer.
So, I mean, he came back. He been balling. He went 18-11 one game, 20-6. We're like, okay, this trying to win some games. Go up against San Antonio, drop 12 points and loss. And then what caught me off guard was the game against Detroit, which is probably, I mean, it was a team they literally like 6-7 games ago. He went 18-11 on them. This time went 9-5 with a close loss. But he said, yo, I'm the great Al Horford. He came back. Yo, guess what he dropped today? 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 fucking blocks, 4 threes. That's the great Al Horford right there with the clutch win against the Sacramento Kings. That's what's up, yo. So
that's a bad team. What the fuck?
But it was against DeMarcus, right? So it was like
I don't think DeMarcus plays
blocks though.
I don't think DeMarcus plays center. I think Kosta Koufos does, and they put him at power forward.
Oh, word?
Yeah, I think Koufos. If I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. But I'm pretty sure Koufos starts at 5 and DeMarcus starts at power forward. They can still switch the lineup. I don't know exactly how they got the lineup looking, but with a defensive matchup, excuse me.
Yeah. I don't think nobody watches King games though. So
yeah, true. I was waiting for this man Waffle to come back, but I guess he ain't come back. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna run through. Okay, I'm right. Yeah, okay, I'm right. Yeah, they put DeMarcus at power forward and Koufos at 5. I don't know exactly how they do their lineups though, but neither one of them really are great defensively. But I guess it is what it is. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the teams. Like I said, we're gonna talk about almost all these teams. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do East and West. I'm gonna bundle up the 4 teams together, the bottom 4, and then go to the next 4, and then once I get done with the one conference, we go over to the next. We're gonna start in the Western Conference because I think it's a lot of controversy in the bottom 4 in the Western Conference. You got Dallas, Minnesota, Phoenix Suns, and then the Pelicans. Dallas. A part of me wants to say injuries. Oh, Parsons. Well, part of me wants to say injuries and Parsons is out and then Dirk missed a couple of games, but 3-15 is kind of crazy. Like at that point, you just need to call it quits because y'all not making the playoffs. So that's kind of crazy. Phoenix, I knew they weren't going to make the playoffs neither. But the two teams that are very interesting is Minnesota, which I might have to take the L on Minnesota, and the Pelicans as well. Minnesota, I don't know why they're losing games outside of maybe like defensive problems. Because if you look at their numbers offensively, Levine, Wiggins, and Towns are putting up really solid numbers, yet they're still losing. So I technically don't know why. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know everything. From my understanding, it is defense though, but I haven't watched enough like consistent Minnesota games to get a grip of what's going on.
They're just inconsistent.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, Parsons does play for Memphis. I'm bugging. Parsons played for Memphis because it's Harrison Barnes out there balling every now and then. But what'd you say?
But Parsons is injured. But yeah, I watched quite a bit of, maybe not quite a bit. I watched at least 6-7 Timberwolves games. They put up stats and they get numbers, but it's like you could tell they just don't know how to close out games. Because when I watch my Raptors, it'll be a close game and they know exactly what the game plan is going down the line. When it's the Timberwolves, Wiggins will take a couple shots, whether he makes or misses, And then sometimes they either ignore Towns or ignore Wiggins, and the offense is literally all over the place. So it's a lot of inconsistency. You can attribute some of that to the players still have to grow. Wiggins is inconsistent as fuck. He went from dropping like 30, 40 a game to shooting like 28%, 35% after the next few games. So it's just the players that take longer than we thought to develop. I mean, they're putting up the numbers, but Rubio, I think, just came back, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but to be honest, I said this too. Rubio is not a starting point guard in today's NBA. He's not. I've been saying this. I'm not overreacting, nothing like that. I've literally been saying this for a while now. Rubio just isn't a starting point guard in today's NBA. Yeah. And I don't care what anybody says about, lack of shooting and whatnot, and he can adapt. Like, in today's NBA, you got to be able to shoot. And at that point guard position, you got to be able to defend. Like, you have to. And if not, then you have to have a multitude of great defenders surrounding you on the perimeter. And they don't have that there. So Rubio in today's NBA can't defend, nor can he shoot. He can't on-ball defend, nor can he shoot. So he can't spread the floor. So that's not going to work. And then you got Dunn coming off the bench, who really isn't ready. I'm going to tell people right now, because we're going to talk about the people who are players and teams that are disappointing. All of these rookies are really disappointing me right now, because I thought at one point, Embiid, Embiid is Embiid, but these rookies, because a lot of these rookies were given the keys from day one, and it's very obvious that they're not ready.
You know what's crazy is they just it looks like, I don't know if it's 100% official, but it's damn near official. They agreed on the new CBA. So the CBA could have cut off by next offseason, but they're going to continue until 2020. And the reason I'm saying that is because one of the things they were talking about in the discussions was one-and-done college players, and whether if you should be playing 2 years in college. And the argument could be made, of course. I know for football, players have to be in there for, a minimum of 3 years, or is it all 4 years? I'm not entirely sure, but it's a lot longer than the NBA, because, of course, you're not taking hits like that in the NBA. The main story is if players are forced to go to college, and so they develop there, and then they leave college, they apply to be in the draft, and they make it in the team, and they still can't perform. I need to see some raw data, some data proving that players should be going to college, because then I turn around, I look at players like Kobe and LeBron who came straight out of high school, and they're some of the greatest players in NBA history. Anyway, I wanted to say that. I don't watch too much college basketball myself, but I think that should be a decision the athletes make, because if players like Dunn, who had a phenomenal first game after Rubio went down, and then he just really trailed off, it's like how much is college really developing them? And I guess that's a question you ask the athletes. But I think they should be allowed to make that decision, because there's so many people. I don't know, man. I just don't like the fact that they're making the decision for them. But anyway, go ahead, Joe. What player are you trying to talk about?
But also too, but like somebody said in the chat, like Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray, for whatever reason, people just look at points, rebounds, and assists. You look at the total picture, shooting 39% from the field. That's not cutting.
Yeah, but you also have to keep in mind for Murray that he missed his first 16 shots. It was either 16 or 17.
But that's part of him being a disappointment, because I don't think anybody expected Jamal Murray to miss his first 16.
Because I watched a few of the games, because Jamal Murray's Canadian and he's from Kitchener. I have to represent. I had high hopes for the guy, but he started off terribly. But I knew he was a phenomenal shooter. So he picked it up. And if you ask Nugget fans, I can't speak for all of them, but I know, because I've been watching through I've seen the Denver commentators talk about it. He's already became a fan favorite in Denver.
Well, you ain't got nothing to root for in Denver.
I get it, but when Will Barton was down and they had a couple other injuries at the same position, Jamal Murray got a chance to play. There were some games he was playing heavy minutes, and it was clear he just wasn't ready. He had to work his way up there. But in the minutes he did play, he was shooting nice, and I seen him. It was like a few days ago. I was watching one of their games, and he missed a clutch shot, and then Wilson Chandler. It was against OKC. Wilson Chandler missed because Steven Adams closed out, and I don't know. I think I don't want to jump to the conclusions just yet on rookies, because keep in mind, what kind of rookie does this well this quick early into a season? You can make judgments on
the rookies that everybody was pushing, because over the past because we've been fiending for a really really good rookie class, right? And the past 2, arguably 3 years, was supposed to be the rookie classes that was supposed to be great. And I just remember everybody was bigging up a lot of these players. And Jamal Murray is supposed to be a guy, comes out, scoring ability, efficient, knocking down the shot. You're not expecting him to play defense. You're not expecting him to facilitate the ball. But scoring, no, that's something you should expect him to do. And you claim like the first couple games, his last games, 30% from the field, 37, 38% from the field.
Nah, but you don't get
31% from the field.
You can expect teams to mature by the 1 quarter mark, but you can't possibly expect those rookies.
Oh, no, I get it. No, I get what you're saying. In the big picture, yeah, you're right. I'm not expecting like rookies to go out there and drop 30 a night like they fucking Shaq or LeBron. But my expectations of some of these rookies was higher than what they are. And there's not really any rookie out there right now that's like, yo, I can immediately see it. There is none. And maybe that was supposed to be Ben Simmons.
See it though.
But I thought maybe that was
to immediately see it, Lo. Like you see LeBron, whoa, you can immediately see that when he came in the NBA, even though he couldn't really shoot at the time. You see Kobe, my God, yo, immediately you can see that shit. But you're not gonna run across those players too often. You see Cat, we knew by this.
But what I'm saying is we were told that it was supposed to be immediate. That's what I'm saying. Some of these players
immediate though. Who told you that?
Some of these, because obviously Ben Simmons obviously out. Brandon Ingram, if you watch Laker games, Brandon Ingram still isn't ready. He's just not ready.
But they got Dang though. You should already knew if they had a starting small forward.
But even the minutes he plays, he's obviously not there yet.
All right.
Brandon Ingram is shooting under. If I'm not mistaken, he's shooting like under 35% from the field. Like these players, none of them are efficient. And Brandon Ingram is surrounded around legitimate players. It's not like he out there like Jamal Murray, where it's just him and a whole bunch of other young guys, and they all have to figure it out at the same time. No, like he's around other players, legitimate players. Jaylen Brown is playing really good. I've said this numerous times. I like what Jaylen Brown is doing, but like Brandon Ingram, 35.6% from the field, 28% from three, and I've been watching them games, and even that is a surprise to me because I thought it was lower than that. I just thought that these players would have been better than where they're at right now. That's all.
No, I think for some players are like, you see Buddy Hield, and especially with the there's not a lot of depth there on that team. You would have thought maybe he would have stepped up. You can make arguments he's not really getting the role that some people thinks he deserves. Some people thought at one point he should be starting. But with Drew back now, they're good on that team. So some players are gonna be disappointments for sure. But by the end, usually like the third quarter, fourth quarter of the season is when we expect rookies to really turn it up and when they get used to things. After the All-Star break, if some of these rookies don't start stepping up and just performing like you'd expect a rookie of their caliber to, then I think I could declare that they were a disappointment. But I think it's too early right now, at least for me to say. I didn't really have crazy expectations first 20 games into the season for many of these players.
I'm going to look at Porzingis' first 20 games, and we'll see about that. But you touched upon the Pelicans, too, like you said, bottom four. Do you see them staying that way with now Jrue Holiday, or you think they can bump up a little bit? Because realistically speaking, and just be honest with people, the difference between where the Pelicans are at right now was 7-12, and the Blazers, who are 8th seed, who are 10-10, it's not that huge of a gap. And now they got Jrue Holiday. He's playing phenomenal. He's playing great. He's actually what they needed. Just another adequate player on that team. That's all Anthony Davis needed. So you think that's enough for them to get brought up to the playoff talk, or you think Pelicans are kind of just a lost cause?
I remember to start the season, I had the Pelicans just barely squeezing into the playoffs. I thought that once everything settled in, especially if Anthony Davis has. Remember last year? I remember to start last year we did a podcast where I said Anthony Davis was going to have a historic season, and everybody just laughed. I was like, "Yo, this is Anthony Davis, yo! I guarantee you he's going to have a historic season." And then he got injured, unfortunately. But this year he's kept the injuries to a minimum. Occasionally he's got a ding there too, but he's playing well, and Drew's back. Drew's playing phenomenal. And now this is when you need players like Buddy Hield to start to develop, because before you were asking a lot of him. Now he just needs to play that play a role, and you need some of the other players to start to step up. They don't have anywhere near the talent to compete in the playoffs in the Western Conference, because Anthony Davis can only take you so far. Aside from, you can need other players to help you out, and it just seems like they lost too much over the offseason. Was it Ryan Anderson's with the Rockets now? And where the fuck is Tyreek?
He hurt.
Okay, so, if if they can get things together on that team, I think they can squeeze into the playoffs. I hope they can, to be honest, because I really just feel bad for Anthony Davis over there on that team. But they're 6-4 in their last 10. So, I mean, it's looking up and up. If they continue this way, they're damn near right beside the Kings, and the Kings have been healthy all season outside of Darren Collison. So
true. To the Porzingis thing, his first 20 games, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks, 44% from the field, 36 from 3.
How much minutes?
28.
That's decent. That's rookie right there. That's what you expect from a rookie.
But that's his first 20 games.
Oh, that's his first 20 games?
Yeah. But it's a tad bit different because he's on a team with Melo, so I'll give him that credit to that.
No, that's a decent stat line. That's what you'd expect from a rookie that high of a pick in the first year.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, that's just his first 20 games. Like I said, we were talking about the first 20 games. That's what he was averaging the first 20 games. So,
that's what's up, yeah.
That's really good. I think that's it, though. I think we touched upon them last 4. Suns are terrible. Minnesota, not yet, because it's another team that might get the most disappointing team. We probably we're talking about them right now. The next 4 teams in the West: Sacramento, Denver, LA. And I'm talking about the real team in LA, people, the Los Angeles Lakers, get that straight. And then the Portland Trail Blazers. Denver, I don't think nobody really cares about Denver. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry if you're a Denver fan, but nobody's expecting them to make the playoffs. I think they'll just start to kind of trail off like they did last year because they started off really strong last year, and they'll trail off. However, the three teams that are interesting, Sacramento, Lakers, and Portland. Sacramento, for people who don't know what's going on in Sacramento right now, Sacramento has to trade DeMarcus Cousins. And I don't think enough people are like putting an emphasis on that. If they don't trade DeMarcus Cousins, I mean, I guess they can trade him in the offseason, but at that point I would assume it would have to be a sign and trade because I don't think anybody would want DeMarcus Cousins with only 1 year left on his contract. The thing is with DeMarcus is they have to trade him because if they keep him next year and he plays out his entire contract, because his contract is next year. If he plays out his entire contract and they have a somewhat decent draft pick, they don't get to keep it because they traded that away to Philly when they traded away Nick Stauskas.
Nick Stauskas of all people.
Yeah, exactly. So they need to make moves immediately because they don't have anything. They just don't have anything at all. And I don't know if that pick is protected, but the fact that they traded away a pick along with Nick Stauskas, like it's the craziest thing in the world. But they have to make a move, and if they don't make a move, this will just perpetuate this notion that they are the worst organization in the NBA right now. Because I wholeheartedly believe that the Kings are the worst organization.
Kings are close second.
Then the difference was the Nets was when they made the trades with the picks, which is still stupid, they still made the playoffs. This team has DeMarcus Cousins, have Rudy Gay, Rondo, and they still didn't make the playoffs, and they still not making the playoffs. That's crazy to me that they can't even get into the playoffs. But I don't know, the fact that they're about to waste one of the greatest players that have entered the NBA over the past 7 to 8 years is ridiculous. But
is he one of the greatest though?
In the past 7 to 8 years?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Because one of them means he's at least top 4.
Is he not top 4?
We got AD, right? We got AD. We got Cap. Bang, bang. We got Wiggins, of course.
Stop. I cut you off right there.
I said Cat. I could say Wiggins, bitch. All right.
No, I cut you off.
No,
right there.
I can though.
I cut you off.
Here's a neat little question. You think D'Angelo's gonna have a better career at the end of the day than DeMarcus?
D'Angelo Russell?
Yeah.
When you say career, what do you mean? I think a lot. I think I said this before. I said a lot of those players who get drafted for the Lakers, I think they're gonna have a better career. They may not be better talents, but they'll have better careers because they play for the Lakers. Because we know how to win.
Word. All right. Cool.
So I don't know when you say he's not. I don't think D'Angelo is. I think a lot of people are starting to overrate D'Angelo. I don't think D'Angelo's that great of a player. I just think he's in a great system on an organization that's willing to build around him and give him the opportunity to
for that injury, that man was saucing people up on my fantasy.
I'm not saying he's not good. I'm not saying he's not good, but I wouldn't label him as great as a player as DeMarcus Cousins.
No, I'm saying at the end of the day though, because DeMarcus got that time to develop.
I think at most D'Angelo has maybe 1 or 2 seasons where he's averaging like 23 points and like 8 assists. I don't see D'Angelo having like some historic year. I don't see that happening with D'Angelo. And he's on my team. I'm a Los Angeles Laker fan, people. I don't see D'Angelo like that.
Yo, last year I thought Jordan Clarkson was gonna end up being better than D'Angelo because Jordan Clarkson was out there balling. But then they gave Jordan Clarkson that garbage contract and put him on the bench. I was like, for real?
Man, shout out to Jordan Clarkson for being a real man. Put your ego aside to better the team. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, man. I guess you want to talk about the Lakers because the Kings are just depressing. No, because it's crazy. I don't know if the Lakers are a playoff team or not because defensively, it's a struggle. It's a struggle defensively, and the injuries right now are killing us because I think we're now below 500 again after losing to y'all. So the injuries are killing us, and I think we're talented enough to win just enough games to make the 8th seed, but I don't think we're so talented enough for us to make any legitimate noise. However, I would love for the young players, especially Brandon Ingram and even Julius Randle, to get a taste of the playoff and get that experience underneath their belt. Even if we get blown out by the Golden State Warriors, I would love for us to have that type of experience underneath our belt, and I think that's the next move for us anyway.
No, they're not making the playoffs.
Whoa, Waffle came back.
It's too late for that team. That team is done for the season.
You go, man.
How are we done? We won a game out of the playoffs.
Yeah, but come on.
Without D'Angelo over the past 4 games.
He has a point, yo.
Man, forget D'Angelo, man. Forget about that. Let's just be real. The Lakers are going to be the best non-playoff team in the Western Conference because they don't got that one player who at least can he could probably drop 30 one night. I mean, at least the players just got Damian Lillard, the Jazz. Maybe they got
the Jazz got who? The Jazz got who?
They got Joe Johnson. They got Gordon the white boy.
Gordon Hayward. I don't know.
Living at the free throw line. That man's a killer at the free throw line, man. Oh, wow. The Grizzlies, they got a nice core over there.
But the Grizzlies don't have a player on that team that can just drop 30 points. Though.
They got a nice core. They got veteran.
Okay, we have a nice core.
No, not like that. You got a young core. They got a nice veteran core.
They got a whole bunch of veterans that barely put up numbers that are comparable to us.
Mike Conley?
Yeah, he's putting up numbers. Mike Conley, chill out. Let's not talk about that.
Better than D'Angelo though.
Let's not talk about that overpaid player, yo. Let's chill.
Hey, you could call him overpaid, but he playing good for that team.
Okay, but I don't know. I'm not being that optimistic. I don't think that we're going to make the playoffs because I didn't have us in the standings.
They surprised me though. I didn't think they were going to be remotely 500. So
yeah, this is surprising. I didn't think they'd be this close though because they're really close. But then that gets us to which I'm going to say is at least the most disappointing team in the West, and that's the Portland Trailblazers, man.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what the fuck people expected, Joe. The Portland Trailblazers were a surprise team last year. Keep them a surprise. To do that again, they would have had to perform just as good. And they didn't really make any. They got Evan Turner. That was their big acquisition in the offseason. They fucked up. They were meant to get Whiteside. They were meant to get all these top players. They fucked up in the offseason. And now Dame is out here and in some games shooting some garbage field goal percentages. CJ McCollum's doing all right. But outside of that, it's clear that the team doesn't have much help. But offense isn't even their problem. The problem is their defense, and they need some work. And it's neat because Portland's actually a fun team to watch, yo. I wish they would start winning, but it doesn't look like it the way they're playing.
But I told you and Nick during the free agency, I'm like, man, nobody doesn't want to play in Oregon. Like at the end of the day, people have to recognize where some of these teams are located. Nobody wants to play in Portland. They just don't.
Nobody wants to play in Portland. Well, yeah, nobody wants to play in Portland.
Nobody of significance. Evan Turner probably just went wherever the money was at. Nobody doesn't want to play in Portland.
I don't know.
Damian Lillard signed, right?
Oh, but he's a homer. He trying to prove a point.
Mm-hmm. So is Allen Crabtree.
He resigned because he likes the city.
He's a homer, yo.
Anyway.
No, nobody doesn't want to play for that team. If somebody would have played for that team, there's no way they would have both Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum, and they brought on Evan Turner, and there's no big man that was like, they look kind of good. They could have got Whiteside.
And Whiteside ain't going over there.
Why wouldn't he? Because he don't want to play for Portland. He don't want to play in Portland.
Well, how many teams did you want to play for? He didn't want to play for that many teams. He wanted to be a Heat.
But he didn't want to.
And that team's worse.
That's what I'm saying. Miami's worse than Portland. So if you had an opportunity to win games, you go to Portland.
It's not about winning
exactly.
games. No one cares
it's not about winning games.
Nobody cares about
it. You know what's crazy is in NFL, not a lot, but more players in the NFL don't give a fuck about winning than in the NBA. The NBA, mostly everybody bases their decision on winning. That's why these super teams. In the NFL, you'll see players like Eric Decker leave Peyton Manning and the Broncos for the Jets. And you're like, what? That is confusing. But anyway, that was
some money.
I know.
NFL's stingy. All is stingy in the NFL. They want to pay their players.
Yeah, because they know at any moment they could get injured. No guaranteed contracts, no money.
Yeah, the White Howard was.
DeMarco Murray left.
Dwight Howard was out there too. He could have signed with Portland. I mean that team has so much talent. It just doesn't make any sense why a big man wouldn't want to go. You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. I just that team is a huge disappointment. And probably this is probably the team they always been. But we were just caught by surprise last year. But defensively, like that team is just god awful. Like it doesn't make any sense.
What do you expect with that backcourt?
I mean, but the entire team, though, like, Jesus Christ. Like, everybody just saying, no, we ain't going to play defense because, our backcourt don't really play that much defense, so it's cool.
Anyway.
I mean, they're close within range. I mean, if they win a couple more games, they're back within the 4th seed, so.
Or
in the 4th quarter.
I don't know about that. But then, moving on to the next 4, we got Utah, Memphis, OKC, and Houston. Memphis and Utah, I think that's where I had them roughly around. I had Utah a tad bit higher than that. But Utah's not that many games behind Houston and OKC, to be honest with people. And on top of that, what's the scene? Utah didn't have Gordon Hayward in the beginning of the season. They're still struggling with Derek Favors through injuries. So I think their team is where they roughly should be at. But obviously, the two teams that caught me by surprise out of those 4 is Houston and OKC. I had Houston out of the playoffs and OKC barely making the playoffs. However, it looks like they're just clearly in the playoffs. Actually, OKC and Memphis, unless some teams play today and I'm not aware of it, OKC and Memphis have the exact same record right now. So it's not like it's by much. So I don't know. It's still pretty close with those 4 teams.
And why they got them records though? You know why?
Why?
Because they got 2 top 10 players on their teams.
Okay. What are you saying? What does that got to do with anything?
Nigga, I told you, nigga. That's all I'm just saying.
Oh, because you saying DeMarcus not a top 10 player?
Well, he's not. So
he's not a top 10 player, right?
Nope. I never say it was.
I mean, I'm just saying. That's what you're saying. So like Curry better than him. Kawhi, James Harden, Westbrook, KD,
DeRozan.
LeBron. DeRozan better too?
Yes, DeRozan's better than him.
DeRozan.
I have DeRozan on my team than freaking Boogie. That fight had that to do.
Who
Chris
else?
Paul's better than him.
Chris Paul. Blake Griffin, right?
I don't know about Blake.
I don't know about Blake. Isaiah Thomas?
If I were to say Blake Griffin's better, then I have to say Porzingis is better than him too.
Okay. Because before we get into that, because you're crazy right now. Isaiah Thomas?
Nah, not even close.
How is Isaiah? He putting in like 26 points.
Yeah, but I just don't like the Celtics. I don't like that nigga.
Oh wow!
Are you sure, man? They got the great.
Oh, Jimmy Butler, right?
His ain't close. He's about to surpass him the way he's playing this season.
Wow. But yeah, I don't know. For me, Houston and OKC was the 2 surprise teams out of those last 4 I talked about because I didn't expect them to be that good. Well, I don't know. The season 2 to a degree is kind of young. I can see them falling out a little bit, but not too much. Anything I was like to say about Houston and OKC or any of them other teams?
Garbage.
Wow.
They're not garbage.
Offended so much people.
And
in the NBA, but they're not garbage in the West.
True.
Really, we shouldn't be talking about teams that aren't going to win the championship. So we'll just talk about Golden State every podcast for the rest of every podcast ever.
Sure. And then we already talked about Clippers and San Antonio. Well, we didn't talk about San Antonio, but we talked about a little bit about Clippers, San Antonio, and Golden State, the top 3 teams in the West. The only thing that's surprising me out of them 3 teams, like I said earlier, Clippers with the defense, and I can't believe KD is still putting up 29, borderline 30 points, which is crazy.
That's what happens when you're a top 3 player. You can do it at whatever team he wants to go.
Oh, you're a top 3 player?
Yep.
That's what's up. Well, we're going to go to the East now because people want to talk about some of these Eastern Conference players. Bottom 4, and one of these teams are the most disappointing teams in the East. 76ers, Brooklyn, Washington Wizards, Jesus Christ, and Miami Heat. Washington, by far one of the more disappointing teams in the entire league. I don't know what's going on in Washington right now, bro. That shit is OD. And Miami, I'm pretty sure I had Miami not making the playoffs, but I didn't think it would be this bad. Jesus Christ, because they really don't have nobody. You got something to say on that?
Miami?
Miami, Washington, any of the teams, any of the bottom 4 teams in the East.
Man, those are the same trash teams except the Heat because they lost Dwayne Wade.
I can't believe the Wizards are that, but Wizards got Beal back though. Wizards, they're winning games slowly.
They been had Beal back. Beal been
He
playing.
just got back a couple weeks ago, yo. He was out for a while.
Beal played 14 games, and the Wizards play like how many games right now? I think
Right, that's 6
20.
games that could have ended differently.
17. No, they played 17 games.
No, they played 19. Oh wait, no. Yeah, you're right. 17. Okay.
14 out of 17 games, so they missed 3 games. Look at that record.
I don't even understand why. I mean, Bill is nice offensively, but it's not like he does anything on the defensive end that's really going to change anything.
You think John Wall and Beal really work out good together? You think that?
I don't. To be honest with people, I kind of hold my criticism on John Wall. I think a lot of people just overstating John Wall from time to time. I heard people be like, "Oh my God, you forgetting about John Wall?" And it's like, he's not better than the other point guards. So
maybe
yeah.
he's probably he could be a good 1B.
Yeah, he could be. He can be, but John Wall can't. John Wall's not a great enough player to where he could like really alter the game enough to where it could like make an effect on the team. Like I understand John Wall, and I think people like kind of don't understand this. I understand John Wall defensively is better than Damian Lillard, but because Damian Lillard can carry a team further or carry a team more than John Wall, then Damian Lillard is better than John Wall. It's just that simple. And I think a lot of people just like, I don't know. I just think a lot of people overlook that or overstate. Like, oh my God, he plays defense, and I'm like, that's great. It's great he plays defense, but that doesn't get the team nowhere. Especially offensively, when he just holds the ball, pick and roll, dish it off, gets his assists, but they still lose games. And I'm not saying it's completely his fault because that team is terrible. Again, another terrible organization who sat there for the past 2 to 3 years and was like, we're going to get Kevin Durant. We're going to bring Scott Brooks over here. We're going to hire his high school coach. Stupid. We're going to empty up all this cap. And he ain't even
brought the cousin down to the arena.
Didn't even sit down with. He didn't even like sit down with them. He didn't even like go out on dinner with them. They would ask him out, and he was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm busy that day."
You know what it's like you're in Toronto, right? Your friend moves out to America for school, and then he comes back for a week, and you got all this shit ready at the house. So you got all of the party and everything. He just never showed up. He's like, "Nah, I'm actually gonna go back early."
Exactly.
I can't believe they hired his high school coach and all that shit. That is hilarious.
They did. They hired all them niggas. But yeah, I think for sure, in my opinion, Washington is one of the more disappointing teams in the entire league. Moving on to the next 4 teams. Ooh, this is where things get a little tricky. We have Orlando, Indiana, which is another disappointing team, Atlanta Hawks, and the Detroit Pistons. I know y'all want to talk about some of these teams. I'm gonna let y'all just give me y'all thoughts on some of them teams right there, man. I already know, because I did bash the Knicks a little bit. I said the Hawks.
Can I get an L to the Hawks in the chat, please? Dumb niggas.
Can we get an L in the chat for the Hawks? Put
they still have a good record in the Knicks.
No, they do not, nigga. We talking about?
No, they don't. The Hawks have a worse record than the Knicks right now.
It says on NBA.com, Hawks are 10-9, Knicks are 9-9.
No, you need to refresh, baby.
They just won, so he's 10-9.
Oh, word? Okay.
Put an L in the chat for the Hawks.
Give the Hawks an L. What did I say about the Hawks, man? What kind of team is this? Sure, you lose Horford. I mean, get it, Dwight. But you lost Jeff Teague. Of course, y'all niggas wanted Dennis Schroeder, and I think Dennis Schroeder had a career high game one of the days last week.
Yeah, I saw it.
But
no, shout out to Ken Bazemore for shooting like a fucking brick. Yo, check this out.
Ken Bazemore,
36%, 0%, 23, 11, 50, 26, 47. He shot today in the loss, 27%. Garbage.
Yeah, he shoots terrible.
But inconsistencies with this team, man. You don't know what you're gonna get from any of these players one night. One night, Dwight Howard might get like 20 rebounds, 20 points. Next game, 17 points, 12 rebounds. One game he might have.
Dwight is consistent. I mean, he might go from 20 points to 17, but he's rather consistent. Like Adrian said, though, it's some other pieces. Like them other pieces are just like all over the place. That shit be crazy.
I feel bad for Dwight.
Like him, Dwight, and Paul Millsap are the only two. I'm not gonna look people out here. I'm not gonna give up on the Hawks just yet. Yeah, shout out to my man Carlos Muscala. Shout out to my man. Shout out to my man Muscala. You know what I'm saying? He likes playing really good. But I'm not gonna give up on the Hawks just yet. I still got them making the playoffs. I still got them being better. Being better than the Knicks. I got them being better than the Knicks. I still got them being better than the Knicks.
Fortunately, Tim Hardaway is actually playing good for them.
Playing phenomenal coming out.
Shout out to Tim Hardaway. Finally.
Shout out to Phil Jackson for giving away Tim Hardaway.
For nothing.
I don't give a fuck.
For nothing. Phil Jackson low key had some really good like role player pieces and gave them all away for nothing.
All right, but guess who's playing better than Tim Hardaway though?
Pieces what?
But that's just because Minkus is playing better than him. Exactly.
Nigga, y'all have a problem with y'all bench, and y'all could easily,
our bench is gonna be fine in a couple.
Nigga, I'm just saying y'all could have easily used a player like Tim Hardaway on your bench. Let's not act like y'all couldn't use that. Exactly.
Well, now he's playing good, so I don't give a fuck about it. He's playing good now, nigga. We beat his ass.
I'm just saying he could be. Come on now, y'all let him have him on that team. Also, shout out to the Pacers, man, for being a disappointment. Jesus Christ.
Really?
Shout out to the Pacers for not putting in no work whatsoever. That's what's up.
Yeah, I think is Paul George back? Oh no, he's not even back yet. So Paul George is not even back. So they've been losing a couple. Well, actually, they won.
They were losing games. That's what I'm saying. They were losing games they was actually winning games when Paul George is out. They were losing games before Paul George missed any games at all. And they lost to Portland. They lost to Portland by 31 points. Oh no, not 30. When they lost to Portland by 22 points, that's still crazy.
31.
Well, they're gonna lose on Sunday versus the Clippers. But that's when Paul George will come back. But I don't think I guess I may have overrated the Hawks, but I think I overrated Paul George, man.
I overrated the Pacers team for sure.
Paul George, you overrated the Pacers.
Where's you at?
I
thought Paul George was going to take a step because when you have pieces like Teague and what you got? That is Young. You got Miles Turner improving in the season, and you still got other players.
Oh, let's be clear too. People in that chat, get ready for that L in the next couple of weeks because that man Miles Turner is not better than Porzingis. I don't know what you smoking, agent, but that man Miles Turner is not on the same level as Porzingis. So get ready for them L's in the chat. Not yet though. We gonna wait a couple more weeks. I'm gonna be a little bit.
Wait, I said by the end of the season though.
Man, he's not.
Stop.
He's not.
He's not. Because a huge part of the reason why they lose so many games is because they lose on the boards. And they get out-rebound quite consistently. And Miles Turner, where you at?
Yeah, where is he at?
It's the fucking garbage coaching. Yo.
That too. Oh, yo, wait. Matter of fact, let's put that L in the chat for Larry Bird. Put that L in the chat for Larry Bird, because I don't know why he said, you know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do, Pacer fans? I'm gonna get rid of one of the best coaches in the NBA right now, Frank Vogel. You talking too much defense? No, we ain't doing that.
We can have that.
We can't have no defense
and still have average offense. That's better.
Exactly. No, we ain't have that defense. But now, like Agent said, y'all thought Paul George was gonna take the next step, and he not, bro. He not. He ain't taking that next step. Nigga,
I was the one person who fucking told y'all stop putting Pacers at number 2 to start the season. Put them at number 5 or 4. That team is not getting number 2. Now, so many people look at the fucking papers. Oh, look, this player and that player. Look, they
not. But what I'm saying is they're not even in the playoffs right now.
Nah, sometimes you gotta relax. Stop looking at the people on the paper.
I mean, compared to these teams, though.
You look at players like the Kings. Like the Kings should be killing it right now if you just looked on paper and said, "Wow, they actually have a good, solid team with good players."
No,
the team itself had issues.
I don't know about that. I don't think that neither.
They have Darren Collison, DeMarcus, and Rudy Gay on one team.
You know how I feel.
Defense?
Rudy Gay is a cancer, so you already know.
You're even balling this year. What are you watching?
You have Raptor experience, bro. That man can't win nothing.
Oh yeah, he was garbage on the Raptors, but I'm saying this year he's balling.
And this team's still losing. He's balling.
It's funny. I think we need to change that narrative that 20 points is balling.
It is though. So
we gotta change that narrative. Like Jesus,
unless you're shooting like under 40%.
I don't think it's
under 40. You could be shooting in the 30s for you to be like, nah, that's not balling no more.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But no, Paul George, what I'm saying is this. Paul George actually took a step back, at least when it comes to his offensive abilities. And me and you had this back and forth for the past 2 years now. Defensively, we all know what Paul George is, and we know what he brings to the court. But offensively, it's a problem. And it's been a problem, and he's been inconsistent throughout his career. And right now, he's 21 points, and that's me rounding up. I have to round up for me to say he's putting up 21 points a game.
It's lit, yo.
So I don't, I'm completely confused to why, he's playing. I mean, I guess defensively he's still fine, but I need more offense out of you, Paul George. I need more. You want to cover 2K? What's going on?
That is true. You see, that's a 2K curse. It used to be the live curse.
Yeah, you see Gronko down though? That's the Madden curse.
And
I guess.
But again, if y'all just look at it, they get beat on the boards all the time, which is crazy. They get outscored all the time as well, which is also crazy. And they turn the ball over 15 times a game, which is also crazy. So I don't know. I got to look at that. I got to look at some more Pacers team. I'm not going to say that like I know all the answers to the questions and all that other stuff, but the Pacers team is kind of weak, in my opinion.
You don't have the answers?
No, I ain't got the answer. I'm not gonna say it like I know everything about all these teams. There's 30 teams in the goddamn NBA. I don't know all these teams like that. And before we move on though, because the next set of teams, we're gonna touch upon something. Shout out to the Pistons, man. The Pistons winning games without Reggie Jackson. So as soon as he comes back, that team should be even better. So that for sure is if you're a Piston fan. For all my Piston fans out there, shout out to y'all, man. Y'all should be looking good moving forward because y'all still ain't got Reggie Jackson. Ishmael had a crazy stat line the other day because I got him on fantasy, so he played really good.
Fuck, of course he did. The 1 week I'm against him.
And I'm surprised. I thought the Pistons were going to struggle without Reggie Jackson, but yeah, shout out to that team, man. The next 4 teams, because this is like I said, get a little funny here. New York, Bucks, Charlotte, and Boston Celtics featuring the great Al Horford. Go and speak your talk. Waffle. Go and speak your talk, man.
No,
y'all in the playoffs. Y'all in the playoffs. 7.
In that name group, I'm like, damn, I've been sleeping on the Bucks. I haven't watched a lot of Bucks games, but I've seen Giannis dropping some crazy numbers.
Yeah, Giannis is crazy.
man, putting up some crazy numbers out there, leading that team. I don't even know who else is doing shit on that team. Is anybody else like doing anything crazy?
Jabari's playing better than what I expected. Well, I mean, I don't know. I always thought that like Jabari, the whole Jabari and Wiggins thing was kind of blown out of proportion because it was obvious that Jabari was going to take a few more years for him to adapt. But Jabari is, I'm trying to get to his numbers, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 46% from the field, 35% from 3. So, yeah, Jabari playing really good. Tony Snell putting up their numbers too now. That trade might have worked out in their favor too.
Damn, who made the trade?
Michael Carter Williams and Tony Snell to Chicago.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, I know.
I know,
right?
I know an MCW in the backcourt, boy.
But when it comes to Milwaukee, though, again, defensively, this team is really, really good on the perimeter, holding their opponents to 43% from the field, 31% from 3, almost holding them under 100 points a game. Shout out to this team, man, because defensively, I've always thought this team defensively was going to be really good. It was just what they were going to be able to do on the other side of the court. And I think they found a way to do this. They put no defensive playing Greg Monroe on the bench. So that's what's up.
Greg Monroe's a disappointment, yo. Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's what they got.
Yeah, they got Greg. Well, he's coming off the bench now. You know what's crazy? Players like Greg Monroe, Zach Randolph, and Al Jefferson, like in the 2-year span, they went from like potential all-star numbers like Al Jefferson was putting up to now they're just irrelevant. Like there's no way you can win any games with players like that on your lineup. That's crazy.
Damn, these guys have a look at. They faced the Nets 3 times already. Sheesh.
The Raptors are playing the Cavs for the 3rd time next week.
And they faced the Magic twice. Oh wow, they're crazy.
So what you saying that record just flew?
I mean, let me see. I'm trying to.
Is that what you're saying? That's what you're saying? It's fluke.
They beat the Pistons. They beat the Grizzlies. I mean,
is that what you're saying? You saying is it fluke? That's what I'm asking.
I mean, they beat 3 good teams. You know, I'm gonna give them another week, see what happens with that record.
Because your Knicks beating good teams, right?
I mean, we're beating the teams in the East, so they're all beating the teams in the East. But
I'm about to say you just named like 3 teams in the East, though.
Yeah, I'm saying they beat 3 good teams, but they got a lot of easy teams on the schedule.
Oh, they throwing them L's at you in the chat.
We gotta wait a week.
Yeah, they throwing them L's at you in the chat. They saying, "Yo, Wolf, you don't know what you're talking about. Them Bucks is serious. They a problem."
No, they're garbage because the Raptors destroyed the fuck out of them. Tell me how the Raptors beat the Bucks. Then the Bucks PR team tweeted they couldn't stop Giannis today on the game where Giannis got the game-losing turnover.
Oh yeah.
How the shit is that, yo? Come on. The team is good though, from what I saw. Giannis is. I mean, keep in mind, DeMar Carroll is a really good defender. I know people don't really talk about his defense no more. He's on Toronto, and nobody talks about Toronto. But he's a really good defender. He could put LeBron down like 25 points, you know, make sure LeBron's not out there fucking triple-doubling your ass. And he was on Giannis. Giannis out there just fucking destroying him, though. Giannis is an impressive player, bro. But
yeah, Giannis is playing really good.
They got Jabari on that team, and outside of Jabari, you look around, and it just doesn't feel like the rest of the team is there just yet. Keep in mind, they still don't have Chris Middleton yet, so when he comes back, spread the floor a little bit more.
He's not coming back this season. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's not.
I thought he was coming back late this season.
No, man, that shit is done. I mean, if he does, it's gonna be like they're gonna be in the playoffs. But at that point, I don't know how.
The reports. I promise. Let me Google it because I thought he was coming back like a week before, or a month before the playoffs.
Oh, for the people out there who like I said, like Zach Randolph and Greg Monroe and them are like irrelevant. What I mean by that is. Like literally just 2 or 3 years ago, Zach Randolph was starting in the lineup with Mark Gasol, him and Mark back and forth, the post play. But the way that the NBA has shaped so quickly, because I don't think people understand how quickly the NBA is changing before our eyes. Low post players who can't play defense or who are not the greatest defenders, who aren't that mobile neither. Those players in today's NBA are just pointless. They're so pointless, and I don't really see the point of them being in the NBA because the way it's changed. Also, hey, I'm probably gonna say something controversial too, so get them L's ready for me in the chat. Milwaukee y'all might be right. I'm looking at the teams they beat. Brooklyn, that ain't that impressive. New Orleans, before Drew Holiday came back, that ain't that impressive. Indiana, we know they trash. Sacramento,
Damn.
Memphis,
What the fuck?
Orlando again. They beat Cleveland. That was impressive. And then they beat Brooklyn. I don't know about that. I don't know if those are credible wins.
Oh shit.
That's a fairly put them L's in the chat. I ain't gonna lie. Put them L's in the chat. I need to see more. I got to see more before I can be like, oh, that's the team. That's the team. Because I'm pretty sure if they start to face teams who recognize that, they really don't attempt that many threes. They're bottom 5 in 3-pointers attempted, so they don't really attempt the threes. They're bottom in field goals attempts as well. So they slow down the pace of the game. They try to get underneath you, play defense. A really good defensive team, but they play bad teams as well, and that's who they've beaten. All the other games that they lose, they lost against Charlotte, they lost against Detroit, they lost against like Agent said, Toronto. They lost against Atlanta. Teams that they need to beat to make sure they cement themselves in a situation to be a legitimate playoff team in the East. They've lost those games, so I don't know. We gotta hold the jury out on Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought you were going on your Knicks, Waffle. Mellow. Mellow looking kind of good, man.
These trash ass teams out the way, boy. Let's get these trash ass teams because this is the best team within this group, man.
Oh, stop!
I tell y'all niggas, man.
All right. So
I tell y'all niggas.
Hold on, wait. So in Charlotte, what's nothing? Charlotte surprised. What you think about Charlotte?
They started off well, but they were facing bad teams at first, and now look at them. Now look where they at, boy.
They 5th. They higher than us
now.
No, but they started off what 6-0, 6-1.
Yeah, they started off really good. Yeah.
They started off all that shit. Now look at where they at. Back at the bottom.
They still pretty high. They not at the bottom. They 5th. Jesus Christ. I'm at the bottom.
Nigga, just one more game to lose, and then they back at the bottom, boy.
Oh, okay.
Watch out.
We'll see. And then Boston. Boston's the last team.
Isn't Boston higher than that? Oh no,
no. It was the 4 teams was New York, Bucks, Charlotte, and then Boston.
Oh well, I can't say anything about Boston. They beat us, but we didn't have Carmelo. So I mean, they're a cool team. I mean, Isaiah Thomas is balling out. That guy's a problem.
That guy is a real problem.
That man gets all the foul calls. He just blow the whistle for that nigga.
I like your foul call. Yeah. That's what's up.
Nigga gets all the foul calls. I mean, everyone else on that team. I mean, Bradley's a solid defender, of course. I haven't seen Horford play.
He more than solid. Come on.
Yeah, offensively, he's good too. But I haven't seen a lot from Al Horford, so I can't.
You're not going to see a lot from Al Horford because he don't play that. People kill me when this man Al Horford put up like 18 and 9. Y'all gonna be like, damn, bro. Thought he gonna do more than that because he not.
I mean, they got a hot team. They're a good coach team. So I give the Boston Celtics that spot.
Yeah, they're a really good coach team, man. Let me try to get some numbers out there. Al Horford, he only played 8 games, 14 points, 6 to 7 rebounds. So that's what's up. 5 assists. That's what's up. But yeah, Isaiah Thomas, 26 points, like just crazy. 6 assists, crazy. Avery Bradley, 17, 18 points. Grabbing almost 8 rebounds. Avery Bradley is leading this team in rebounds right now.
What the fuck? Isn't he like 6'3" or some shit?
Avery Bradley like 6'3", 6'2", leading this team in rebounds right now. That's crazy. He getting more rebounds than Al Horford.
Hey. Who's the starting big man? Isn't it?
Start if it's not Al Horford. It depends because sometimes when they play Cleveland, they had Marcus Smart at small 4, and I was like, Jesus Christ. So it all depends on the lineup. But if Al Horford and Kelly Olynyk, Amir Johnson is always a starting power forward. But Amir Johnson, Kelly Olynyk, Al Horford, that's normally the rotations they run with. I'm trying to think. Oh, Tyler Zeller. So Tyler Zeller too. But none of them are grabbing as many rebounds as Avery Bradley. That's crazy. I didn't know Avery Bradley was leading this team. That's crazy. Oh yeah, Crowder was hurt as well. My bad. I don't want to forget about that. When Crowder was hurt, that for sure made a difference. But shout out to the great Al Horford, yo. Shout out to the great Al Horford.
That's it. They bought that man just so they fix their big man problem, and they still didn't do that reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go ahead, talk your stuff, Wolf, man. About you.
Listen,
No,
man.
Brad. Wait, let's go. Bradley is not 6'6". He's 6'2", 6'3", something like that.
Yeah, he's small.
Yeah, he's hella small.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
But listen, man.
Go and tell him.
I ain't gonna say I was right when I said Derrick Rose was gonna average 16 points per game. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell him I was right when I said Carmelo Anthony would reach up to that 24 points. By the way, what happened to Carmelo? Of course he's in decline. We all know he's getting older, but 2-game winners. Even though he shot bad one game, that one game he hit that game winner. He only shot bad 3 games, sir. So listen, I give him a pass on that. And he's still stepping up when it counts. 2 clutch winners. And Derrick Rose, by the way, that nigga Rose is clutch. That man, Derrick Rose, that nigga wants the ball. I ain't gonna lie, Derrick Rose be, doing some lazy passes sometimes, and I keep telling him to stop doing those jump passes. But this man, D Rose, is balling. And even when the Knicks need him to play defense against the other point guards in the league, you know what? He does better than Jose Calderon, and a much, much better job. I mean, look what he did to Dennis Schroeder. God damn, 0 points, Dennis. 0 points. I mean, this man dropped. I think he dropped over 20 points a day. He had 27 points versus John Wall. This man still got this shit, man. He can still drop these numbers. And don't even get me started on Kristaps Porzingis. You talking about a top 5 power forward? I'm talking about a top 2 power forward, probably top 3.
Oh, stop! See, this is stuff you be saying. You be saying stupid stuff.
It's facts. It's facts, though.
No, it's not. It's not no facts. He's not the top 2 power forward.
I said top 3. I changed it to top 3, nigga.
I don't even think he's top 3.
You don't understand, man. I think he's top 3.
It's a fact. Dang, y'all, people kill me with this. Oh, it's my opinion. No, it's a fact. He's not top 3 power forward, yo.
Man, listen. This man is a monster, boy. That's all. He's better than Miles Turner. That's all I know. But this nigga,
he better than Miles Turner. Let's get that clear. He better than Blake.
You know what?
Get the fuck out. I'm
Sooner
done.
or later, he's gonna be better than Blake. Sooner or later, he's gonna be better than Blake. Even this season, it's just the things he can do. When you realize this guy's a mismatch for everybody on the court, you wonder why people want the ball to go in his hand. This guy is the future.
Somebody said, if he not top 3, who top 3 power forwards then? If you have to ask who top 3 power forwards, you're crazy. Because it's obviously AD, LaMarcus, and Blake. So if
LaMarcus, I don't know, man. LaMarcus is slowing down, boy.
y'all is crazy.
I mean, declining. What's LaMarcus doing?
Y'all are crazy. Yo.
I don't think he's doing what Porzingis is doing, especially on the defense.
Porzingis not even average. Let me see how many minutes he playing. Let me see the minutes. Because I mess with Porzingis. You know Porzingis, my guy. I support Porzingis, but you better chill out.
My guy?
Porzingis 34 minutes. He playing a good handful of minutes. 21 points, 7 rebounds, a block and a half, 49% from the field, 40% from 3. I don't know what you're smoking, agent. That man is better than Miles Turner. There's nothing that Miles Turner has ever done for you to even make a argument or a statement saying, "Oh man, Miles Turner might be." No, nigga, no.
See, but you didn't actually ever watch him play.
I ain't gotta watch nobody play to know that somebody else is better than somebody else.
Really?
Yeah, because I just got it like that.
Oh, see, you do know it all then.
Nigga, Porzingis is a mismatch for everybody, guys. Do you see his dribble moves when he dribbles? This nigga dribbling up. Oh, this nigga crazy, boy.
Yo, guys, major alert. Y'all ready for a major alert right now?
What's that?
The Wizards damn near beat the Spurs, got beat out in the last minute. Spurs came clutch. Wow. So and the Bulls beat the Cavs. I don't know if y'all took that in.
We said that, yeah.
The Cavs been losing a lot of games.
LaMarcus Aldridge, 18 points.
Slowing down, man.
18 points, 7 rebounds, 32, 33. He plays a different role, though.
Rondo got that triple-double, yo. 15 points, 11 rebounds, 12 assists.
It's about time, because he on my fantasy. He's crazy.
Fantasy?
Yeah. I know, because I was like, man, I'm probably gonna lose turnovers anyway, so fuck it. He doesn't take enough shots for him to really affect my field goal percentage at the end of the week. So I was like, all right, whatever.
Waffles from Haiti. Someone asked in the chat.
I don't know. Is Porzingis? Nah, this nigga got me about to say he top 3, man.
By the end of this season, we'll see because
he might be it right now.
Because the thing about the Knicks is there's some nights where Carmelo will score 30 and Porzingis will have like maybe 10, 11, and he's playing bad, and then Porzingis has like 30 or 35 one night, then Melo's playing bad. But if both of them are playing good at the same time, I'm just waiting for them to both be in that zone. That's when it's gonna be over.
Yo, somebody tell me in the chat right now. Top 3, top 5 power forwards.
Because if people still think Draymond Green, I mean Draymond Green's still there, but I mean,
what?
I don't really count Draymond. I don't count Draymond Green as a
wait. What's wrong with the agent?
Are you? He said that shit like he kind of just makes it inside there. Porzingis really nice. Draymond a little bit. Yo, are you out your mind? Y'all just fucking underrating Draymond. Then I guess we're just gonna do that.
I thought you were about to say he not top 3. I was like, okay, I'm gonna let you go ahead and say it.
No. He's easily. He's top. Y'all need to cut it out right now. All right, we got Anthony Davis, then Draymond.
I mean,
right?
is he top 3? Think about it.
He's top 2, and then there's Blake, and then everybody else. Patrick Patterson comes before fucking Kristaps.
I was about to say you need to stop. You need to stop. Here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie, people. That man KP.
I mean, 40% from 3.
I'm about to say 40% from 3 is enough for me to like take a sidestep. And he has to share shots with Melo. So exactly. Porzingis could possibly be putting. Here's the thing: if Porzingis putting up 25 points right now, will he not be second?
Mm-hmm.
Would he not be the second if Porzingis right now putting up 25 points a game, shooting almost 50 and 40? You're telling me he not top 3?
That man KP cold, man.
Oh no.
Especially if he was on his own team, might be a little bit difficult, but
Yeah, the percentages will probably go down, but oh no.
He would still be killing, man. Just put Draymond on his own team. Let's see what happens.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I keep saying that too about Draymond. But put that man on his own team. We'll see. We'll see where he stands when he's on his own team. Because I don't know.
I can't wait till Draymond. I don't even know if I ever leave for Warriors, but I'm waiting for that nigga.
Draymond will never leave. Draymond will be like, nah, I know I can't handle that shit. So let me just stay on this team real quick. Let me sign that contract, Steve Kerr. Let me re-up on that Golden State contract. I don't know, but
I would kill it if he was on his own team.
Stop.
Nah, y'all just get back to Game 7 of the finals when he was on.
This man Draymond has so many open 3-pointers because of the other niggas on the court.
Exactly.
This man got KD, Clay, and Curry out there. Oh my goodness.
If he didn't have all 3 of them players on that team, he would not have that many open looks. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. People in the chat, don't kill me. I'm just saying, if Draymond was on another team by himself, his numbers would look completely different. That's all I'm saying.
Obviously, bitch, you just said some obvious shit.
So if his numbers, if he puts up less points, potentially grab fewer rebounds, nowhere near the amount of assists, like his numbers will go down. All his numbers will go down.
I don't know. What is points going though?
His points will go up. His rebounds.
I don't think his points. I don't even think his points will go up.
All right, he's averaging like 12 or 9.
It'd be depending on how he fits in that team's role, though.
Yeah, it may depend.
Underrated Draymond, and that's what we're gonna do.
Because nigga, because if he's a different team, like it might affect his scoring ability.
Exactly, because the way he scores, it's because the way the floor is.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying in the Game 7, he showed us. He's not just fucking there.
Yeah.
If he played for Orlando, where they don't really have spacing, where would he get his shots at?
Okay. You mean they don't have spacing in Orlando? Nah, you got a point. They don't have Alfred Payton.
They don't. I'm about to say, come on, what the fuck? They got no spacing in Orlando. But if you put Porzingis at 5 in Orlando, he can't put up 20 plus points.
And he'll put up 20 points in any team, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know. And I understand. I know people gonna be like, man, it's more. It's more than just points. Porzingis will be putting up 20+ points while protecting the rim and grabbing boards. So I don't know. Who whistling in the background?
Y'all can hear that. It's not even me. It's my roommate.
And finally, people, the last three teams, because it's almost an hour and a half. Last three teams in the East: Chicago, Toronto, and Cleveland. I'll say this before I let Agent talk about his fucking garbage ass team. Chicago, huge surprise. Jimmy Butler threw his name in the conversation of MVP since Paul George didn't feel like doing it this year, and Jimmy Butler is looking fantastic. I was completely wrong about Dwayne Wade. Man, this is stuff like this is like what gets me upset about, like when people make excuses for like people make excuses for like Scottie Pippen for not like putting up numbers when he got older, but then you have a player like Dwayne Wade who's older and he's like, oh no, if I need to start shooting threes, I'm gonna start shooting threes, and now out of nowhere here come Dwayne Wade knocking down threes like he's been doing it his entire career. So I don't know, it's weird, but this team is a huge surprise to me. Not Rondo. I knew Rondo was going to be bad, but this team is playing really, really good. Well, if you got anything to say about these three teams before this man Agent talk about his garbage team?
I just say I was right about Dwayne Wade, man. That man's still balling out there, man. It's funny that the people that came from that 2003 draft class, they're all balling still.
Chris Bosh, no, bro.
Oh wait, well, God bless Chris Bosh. God bless you. I'll pray for you, even though I'm not.
Don't say it. Just don't say it. All right, Agent. The floor is yours to talk about your garbage team, man.
Yo, real quick though, garbage ass cat. Yo, look at the man shot fucking 27% out here. Fucking garbage ass player. He's the reason they lost today.
Damn, one game though. One game though.
That man dropped 47 last game.
Carl Towns, yo.
That's what I'm saying. He put up 47 last game. Like one game though. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, come on. You can't come off a high like that and dip that fucking.
Who's gonna have a better career, Porzingis or Towns?
MCW.
Stop.
What happened to MCW? Is he still in the league?
He's in Chicago.
Word. Say word.
Easy.
Shout out to him. Yo, fucking told y'all. All right. Raptors, by the way, only team outside the Nets who have a back-to-back Cavs and Warriors. What kind of shit is that? Unfair out here, all right? Why we got to face the two best teams back-to-back? I know Drake dropped the song. Y'all trying to disrespect the city. I see y'all. Raptors killing out here, all right? We took a loss to the Cavs. We're going to face them again. We took 2 losses already to that bum-ass team. We keep playing them. Oh, my. How many games we got against? Anyway, so we took a loss to the Warriors. We took a loss to the Clippers. They were all close losses aside from the Clipper loss was a bigger one than the other two. But a little disappointing because as a Raptor fan, you've been like, at least win one of those. But they were away games aside from the Golden State one. So we were like, we'll take what we can get. But the Raptors are doing well, y'all. They're 13-6 right now. And, again, they're second in the East. They're literally on the same exact pace as they were this time last year, except now DeMar Carroll is healthy. So that should hopefully, extra W's. I've been told people kept trying to tell me, Agent, your team going to get less wins than last year. I was like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This team managed to get better over the offseason. How the fuck are they going to lose more games than last year? So that's what they did, y'all. They just balled this year, and they're doing well. The one problem, again, is still the same thing as the power forward spot. When the first loss against the Cavs could have been avoided if Patterson made the end of the game 3. He bricked, and there's a lot of times where Patterson will be open or anybody, the power forward spot always left open. Sometimes it's Terrence Ross, sometimes DeMar Carroll, inability to knock down shots. So it's kind of reminding me of the problem with the Clippers at the small forward spot, except the Raptors are doing it at power forward. So they're doing all right, though. They're not doing amazing, but they're still like top 6, 7 in the power rankings right now.
Yeah, because, Jared Sullinger is still hurt. So when he gets back, y'all rebounding numbers should go through the roof because he's a very productive rebounder. And hopefully he gives y'all some offense as well to kind of relieve Kyle Lowry, because Kyle Lowry, should they trade Kyle Lowry?
Kyle Lowry, he's balling though. All right, don't trade. He's balling.
Should they though? Come on.
He missed 2 game winners though. I'll give him that. He missed 2 game winners so far this season. He did make one. He's at 1 for 3 with clutch shots from the games I've watched so far. I don't think they should trade him though. Keep in mind, Kyle just re-signed. That was DeRozan. No, Kyle got an expiring contract. No one's taking him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think. Oh, yeah, it is right. Hey, y'all, and you know what's crazy? Y'all are going to pay him too.
Mm-hmm.
And they will pay him though.
Yeah, I know they're gonna pay him because DeMar and Kyle are buddy now. So
I get it, and you look at Kyle sometimes. He's one of the most inconsistent players I've ever seen. Like you never know if he's gonna knock that bitch down. He's like Kyle Lowry is like in NBA 2K17 patch 5. Like you just didn't know if you were gonna hit it as a sharpshooter, even though he made the 3-point contest last year. But you also have to keep in mind when you got to focus on defense because he really picks up defensively where he lacks.
Is that what we're doing now? Is that what we're doing now? We're making excuses for offense because you got to do defense?
Oh, no, absolutely not. Like, there's sometimes he fucks up, but when he's aggressive and he hits the paint, that's when really he's the most effective. Against the Bucks, he had the game-winning steal. Literally, Giannis was about to bang a shot. He came from behind and stole the ball and then ran it out. Clock finished. So it's plays like that where you lock down defensively. He has defensive stopper on silver. He has a badge. Lowry's a great defender. I think people overlook defense a lot. And the Raptors are one of the better defensive teams. So you can't lose a player like that and expect to be the same level. It's like the Pacer thing. It's like you look on paper. Does this make sense? Does it make sense? But I'm speaking statistically, you can't lose a player like Kyle. And if you have to pay him max, I mean, if Mike Conley got max, Kyle's going to ask for max. You already know. And you just have to hope he shows up. And I think he'll be 30 by next year, right?
Yeah, I think he's isn't he already older than 30? Oh, you talking about no.
No, I'm talking about Kyle. Kyle's either 30 now or he's 29 now.
I think he's already 30.
Let me Google this bitch right now.
I can Google for you.
Yeah, he's 30 right now.
Yeah,
so
exactly. That's what I thought because I know about basketball.
You
don't know about basketball.
By the time his contract expires, he'd be 34, 35, and then that's when he really be falling off. But you can be an effective basketball player.
He might be 31 though.
This year?
Yep.
Oh, word. So we'll see.
Who else will be 31 this season? I think off season. I think Chris Paul.
But you know what I do know?
Oh, but Chris Paul is better than Kyle.
Jury knows what he's doing. That's what I do know.
No, let's not have this again. Let's not do this again.
I'm just saying though, Masai. I trust Masai in his ability.
Mm-hmm.
Do whatever the fuck he wants to do to make this team better.
So he gonna overpay for Kyle Lowry?
Exactly what he's gonna do it again.
Exactly what he's gonna do. Exactly.
I mean, people thought he overpaid for DeMar DeRozan, but did he now?
Chris Paul not coming to Canada.
Why the fuck we need a Chris Paul?
Because Chris Paul's a free agent too.
So why would we drop Kyle and get Chris Paul?
Because he's better than Lowry.
What?
I think you missed everything I just said. The Raptors win off chemistry. If you fuck that up, like you have
Chris
to be
Paul's the type of player who will boost that.
I agree with you though. I think they do win a lot of games off of chemistry. I agree.
Remember when Rudy Gay was traded? We're like, let's fucking just bomb.
That's Rudy Gay though.
And it was the chemistry, yo. I don't know if y'all. Here's what y'all need to do watching the podcast right now. YouTube on a different tab and type in Toronto Raptors, and then go to the official Toronto Raptors YouTube page. Yo, I promise you, these guys are like the bestest of friends. You'll be seeing. They have like a reality TV show following the Raptors around where you can kind of see behind the scenes. They do like these weird little sarcastic interviews with some of the. This shit is mad funny, but you can just tell the team.
That's the cutest couple.
Yeah, the cutest couple in the NBA. Yeah.
That's the cute. They took the title from Blake and DeAndre. That's the cutest couple.
Anyway,
because Blake and DeAndre, they had their thing going on for a while, and it's like I don't know, something getting kind of shaky going on down there. Especially when DeAndre was threatening to leave Blake and go to Dallas, and things ain't been right. But right now, that's the cutest couple, bro.
You just can't break that up. If you re-sign DeRozan, you have to re-sign Lowry. You just have to hope it pays off, I guess. But hey, Masai's gonna do his thing. I trust Masai. If anything, you can wait.
He said it's called Open Gym. Open Gym.
I know what it's called. It's called Open Gym. Yeah, they're on like season.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I watched the shit. They drop this episode like I think every week. Yo, that shit is fire. By the way, oh my god! Shout out to the Raptors for knowing what content marketing looks like. Yeah, man. Someone said Agent Stock. Chris Paul ain't going to Toronto. I never said that, bitch. He doesn't want them to. I fully just said I don't want Chris Paul in Toronto.
Hey, he said.
You say you don't want Chris Paul in Toronto. Yeah, tell him, Agent.
Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, orange juice.
That's facts. Yeah, man, they're orange juice, man.
Hey, I don't know. It is a weird situation because that's a team. That's a duo. That's probably the duo. I don't know how to say this. How to phrase this. Those two players are the only two players I've seen benefit this much strictly off of chemistry. Like, obviously, a whole bunch of players have chemistry, but I don't think Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan as individuals are as great as they play together. I think the gap is extremely wide. But when they're together, like DeMar DeRozan right now is playing on a superstar level, like a superstar. I don't think as an individual he's a superstar though. I think he has to be around Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, if you watch the offense, some people think the Raptor offense is garbage because they're not really doing much of anything. They kind of just give it to DeMar and Kyle and say, all right, y'all, a couple dribble handoffs, do your thing. You got 12 seconds. And then they find ways to score. But it's the smaller things with Kyle. I recommend y'all just watch one Kyle game and just focus. Have some possessions where you only specifically look at him.
Look, bro, I hate when people say that too. Every All-Star does the little things.
No, I understand, but especially defensively, the crafty things he does, like he has gold pick dodger. I already know. Like he's a really good defender. And shout out when he's banging that 3 ball like he's been doing last couple weeks. Ooh, he's nice.
Yeah, but that's by far the cutest couple. And people keep saying CP3 in the chat. I'm telling people right now because I've seen it myself. It's chemistry. It is chemistry, and I don't know how that chemistry would go if Chris Paul is on that team. Obviously Chris Paul is a better point guard, but I don't know if Chris Paul would make DeMar and the rest of those players as better as Kyle Lowry does, just because they've been on the team for like 4 years now.
Yeah, so, I mean the chemistry was there at 2 years, but
they had a fling going on at 2 years.
Yeah, they did. They just got better as players, and then they kind of young guys like Terrence Ross and Jonas started to develop. So it works out. That's the one thing that's wrong with the chemistry is Jonas. He just looks out of place on that team. But yeah.
What the fuck?
That's Dwayne Casey, right? That's Dwayne Casey, right?
That's the fucking ball, you bitch.
Doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, he don't.
Holy
so,
shit.
I think that's it, people. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
And fucking one, nigga.
This man Waffle's already playing 2K. So shout out to everybody in the chat for sticking around this long, almost 2-hour podcast. So let's go and wrap it up. Y'all got anything to say to the people before we go?
Somebody asked in the chat about Kemba. I've been telling y'all about that guy Kemba. What I tell y'all about the fucking Hornets, y'all thought they were gonna make the playoffs. Told y'all.
I have to make the playoffs?
Nope, I was the only one. I remember.
Oh, okay.
Y'all cooked for that.
I don't know, yeah, because I thought they lost. I thought they lost too much. I thought they just lost way too much, and they're 5th seed right now. So yeah, we'll see. Well, a lot like Waffle said earlier, though, a lot of games they won early on though weren't really. They really weren't the greatest games ever. And actually, you think about it, they like Waffle said earlier. I think they started off like 6-0 or 6-1 or something like that. And since then, they're like 5-7. So they had a losing record. So we'll see. We'll see how they're going to last. We'll see. But like I said at the beginning of the video or beginning of the podcast, people, we 20 games. We're 20 games deep. So you all, there's no excuses anymore. I don't want to hear in my comment section no more about give him a chance. It's done. It's done. What we looking at right now, this is basically it right here. So Rondo, his field goal percentage ain't gonna go up. So you're gonna get that out your head. DeMarcus and them not gonna play defense. I don't know about the Indiana. Jesus Christ, that's a disappointment. And I'm sad to say, but Minnesota's probably not gonna make the playoffs. So this is basically gonna be it. Everything else is just seeding and stuff like that. Waffle, you want to say something, bro, before I cut it off, man?
Oh no, you cut this shit off. I told you niggas.
Wow, what a shame.
Spam an L for the chat for me, please. Give me an L.
And I think that's it. I think that's it, right? I think that's it, guys.
Oh,
right?
Bitch, I didn't get a concluding statement. All right, y'all. What's good? Y'all talking to the best sharpshooter in 2K. Straight balling.
You're not the best sharpshooter.
Nah, but y'all should have seen us on the stage.
Not
Me
even-
too, calling boy Van.
You're not even close. Lob Mob is better than you, bro. Sure.
Oh, word? No, you right. He's not even a sharpshooter, but all right.
What is light on the defender? You saw him on Park After Dark. Yeah, in the 3-point contest.
He was splashing, boy.
I
Exactly.
seen that. You right.
Exactly. He was splashing, yo.
Yeah, I missed that. But yo, I'm about to hop on 2K and hopefully get difficult shots before I get off. So get on that badge grind, of course.
True. Shout out to everybody in the chat. If you follow me on Twitter, like everybody asks me, like, what's the next video? If you follow me on Twitter, y'all are gonna, what the next video is. Also, Agent, that Scottie Pippen video you was criticizing.
What's popping you?
I think I got 10,000 views within us being in this chat.
When did it drop?
The Scottie Pippen video, the Mythbusters thing.
Oh, 40,000. Yeah, I see.
Yeah. It was like at 30,000 when we first started the podcast. So
no, it wasn't.
Yeah, yes, it was. It
just did an update. They didn't get 10,000 in 2 hours. Come on.
Why can't it?
Why would it get 30,000?
Why can't it, Agent? Stop hating on me. Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat.
Anyway.
And we out, man. Me and Agent, we didn't argue today, but we'll
goodbye,
probably,
world. Goodbye.
We'll probably argue next week. So we'll see y'all later.
You want us to argue? I don't want to argue.
We gotta argue, Agent. We gotta have like a back and forth. Come on, chill.
I'm right every time we argue.
You're not always right. Matter of fact, majority of the time you're wrong, Agent.
Sure, bud.
You wanna fight about it before we go? Let me stop.
Stop, yo.
All right. I'll see y'all later, yo.
You said you want to fight about it. What the fuck?